What if the real reason your blood sugar stays high has nothing to do with sugar itself? And what if fixing insulin resistance could start working in days instead of years? Most people think insulin resistance is permanent. They think it only gets worse. They think once blood sugar starts creeping up, the damage is already done. But the truth is, insulin resistance is one of the most reversible metabolic problems the human body can have, if you fix the right signals in the right order. And today, I'm going to walk you through 5 science-backed actions that helped reverse insulin resistance fast. Not with extreme dieting, not with starvation, not with supplements you don't understand, but by correcting how your body responds to food, movement, and stress. This is not about quick fixes. This is about restoring how insulin is supposed to work. Let's start with the first thing that actually changes insulin sensitivity at the cellular level. The fastest way to reduce insulin resistance is not cutting calories. It's controlling how often insulin is released. Every time you eat, insulin goes up. When insulin stays elevated all day, cells stop responding to it. That's insulin resistance. So the goal is not to eliminate carbs or sugar forever. The goal is to reduce insulin exposure. This starts by removing constant snacking. When you eat every 2 hours, even healthy foods, insulin never comes down. Cells never get a break. Spacing meals allows insulin to fall back to baseline, which is when insulin receptors reset and become sensitive again. For most people, eating 2 to 3 structured meals per day without snacks is enough to start improving insulin sensitivity within days. This does not mean starving. It means eating enough at meals so you don't need snacks. Protein, fiber, and healthy fats help meals last longer and prevent blood sugar spikes. The body becomes insulin resistant not because it hates carbs, but because it's overwhelmed by constant signals. Give insulin a rest and sensitivity improves. Now let's talk about what you eat, because quality matters as much as timing. Insulin resistance is driven by fat buildup inside muscle and liver cells. This fat interferes with insulin signaling. The fastest way to reduce this fat is not low fat or low carb. It's reducing ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods cause insulin resistance even when calories are controlled. Refined flours, seed oils, added sugars, and artificial flavorings disrupt how cells respond to insulin. Whole foods do the opposite. Foods that improve insulin sensitivity include lean protein, vegetables, legumes, whole grains in reasonable portions, healthy fats like olive oil, nuts, and seeds, and naturally occurring fiber. Fiber slows glucose absorption and reduces insulin spikes. Protein increases satiety and improves muscle insulin sensitivity. Replacing processed meals with simple whole foods improves insulin sensitivity within weeks, sometimes faster. This isn't about perfection, it's about removing the foods that confuse metabolic signaling. Now here's the third action, and this one works even if diet isn't perfect. Muscle is the largest insulin-sensitive organ in the body. When muscle contracts, it pulls glucose out of the blood without insulin. This means movement lowers blood sugar even if insulin resistance is present. But not all movement works the same way. Long cardio sessions are not required. What works best is brief, regular muscle activation. Walking for 10 to 15 minutes after meals significantly lowers post-meal glucose. Resistance training 2 to 3 times per week increases insulin sensitivity for up to 48 hours after each session. Even bodyweight exercises work. Squats, push-ups, resistance bands, or light dumbbells are enough. Muscle activity opens glucose channels in cells and improves insulin signaling long-term. This is why people with more muscle mass almost always have better insulin sensitivity. You don't need to become an athlete, you need to activate muscle consistently. Now let's move to the fourth factor that almost no one talks about: sleep. Poor sleep directly causes insulin resistance, even in healthy people. Studies show that sleeping less than 6 hours reduces insulin sensitivity the very next day. When sleep is short, cortisol rises. Cortisol blocks insulin and raises blood sugar. This is why people with poor sleep often crave sugar and carbs. Improving sleep duration and sleep timing restores insulin sensitivity surprisingly fast. Going to bed earlier, keeping a consistent sleep schedule, reducing light exposure at night, and avoiding heavy meals late in the evening all help regulate insulin overnight. Even 1 week of better sleep can improve fasting glucose and insulin levels. You cannot out-diet or out-exercise poor sleep. Now let's talk about the fifth action, and this one ties everything together. Chronic stress keeps insulin resistant alive. Stress hormones tell the body to raise blood sugar even when you're not eating. When stress is constant, insulin stays high and cells stay resistant. This doesn't mean stress is bad, it means unmanaged stress is damaging. Simple practices like daily walks, slow breathing, time outdoors, and limiting constant stimulation reduce cortisol. Lower cortisol improves insulin sensitivity without changing intake. This is why people often see blood sugar improvements during vacations, even when they eat more. The body responds to safety signals. Now here's something important. Reversing insulin resistance is not about doing everything at once. It's about stacking small corrections that send the right metabolic signals. Eat fewer times per day, choose real foods, move your muscles regularly, sleep enough, reduce chronic stress. When these signals align, insulin sensitivity improves naturally. This is not theory, this is how the body is designed to function. And here's what most people get wrong. They chase supplements before fixing habits. They cut carbs aggressively and crash. They overtrain and under-recover. They ignore sleep. That approach doesn't work long-term. Insulin resistance is not a moral failure. It's a signaling problem. Fix the signals and the body corrects itself. If you're wondering how fast this works, many people see improvements in fasting glucose within 1 to 2 weeks. HbA1c takes longer, but it reflects long-term change. The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. And once insulin sensitivity improves, everything else becomes easier. Fat loss improves, energy improves, cravings reduce, mental clarity improves. That's why reversing insulin resistance is so powerful. You're not just fixing blood sugar, you're fixing metabolism. If you apply these 5 actions consistently, your body will respond, because insulin resistance is not permanent, it's adaptable. And the moment you stop overwhelming your system, it begins healing. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.